I'm not as violent as I look. I was not surprised when I heard that there were no Australians here tonight. I'm pretty sure they're all on Clapham High Street, complaining about the cold. Maybe if you put on some trousers and took off the flip-flops in January, then there'd be less to complain about. I'm pretty sure that there's a guy called Scotty in the Sahara. No, what, mate? It's a bit bloody hot here. Fairly sure I'm entirely convinced of that. By the way, you might have seen on the website that it said an evening with 3 of the UK's funniest comedians. Number 4. Which, accurate though it might be, does seem a little bit cruel, doesn't it? Seems mean, to say the least. But I've noticed that there's, this is a very nice audience. There's like way more skiers here than snowboarders. That's always a good sign. And we might, in order to get the right level of call and response, we're going to have to just test your capacity to say yes. So, all right, we'll try to see if we can get to agree on some things here. Does it annoy you when people use the word toilet?
Yes!
Is the housing market a bit of a worry?
Yes!
Get a house! Let's hope which works here. Is it possible to find a cleaner who can understand the notes you leave her?
No!
Are you scared that you won't be able to afford the school fees? Oh, isn't this a lovely place? Isn't this nice? Nice and friendly. Admittedly, I at first thought that I wasn't going to do this gig because it was for a heart disease charity, and though heart disease is the #1, killer of the country, it is the most, fatal disease. To my mind, that's always #1 killer of fat people and #1 self-inflicted disease. But then I discovered that this is a charity which is to help people with inherited heart conditions. And they do research purely on inherited heart disease, and that's a good thing. And I just hope that they're not fooling people, and that if someone does turn up to the hospital more than a little overweight, they'll do the test. It's not inherited. Wipe the donut cream off your face. Get back on the forklift truck. And go and get put through the wall you were just built out of. Thank you very much. So this is great to be here, and on top of that I've been having a really good week because someone offered me tickets to go and see Lord of the Rings in the theatre. Has anyone here seen it now? They've got Lord of the Rings and the musical?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone here, we're going to test this, did anyone here like Lord of the Rings the movie?
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right. That's good. We've got someone who pretends to be American here. So favourite bit in the film? Favourite bit? It hasn't... Go on, sir. Tell all.
He gets the ring, he loses the ring, and the god pops up.
Why make a movie? They could have just had a podcast. Well, I mean, there's obviously this section, which I always get tempted to do when I'm just like sweeping the house. It's just you go, "You shall not pass," and then you like jam the mop into the floor. It's really fun. I mean, my favourite bit is that like battle scene in front of Minas Tirith, the last stronghold of the race of man, the white-walled city with the tree of the king inside. There are legions of orcs battling against it, and fire is raining down into the citadel as the riders of Rohirrim smash into the side, and the Nazguls you know, flying overhead. And I thought, it's good, but I think it'll work better on stage. Annoyingly, though, I wasn't able to go and see because I already had tickets to Ben-Hur in the Finger Puppet Theatre. Speaking of entertainment, I got a ring on my doorbell at 10:30 on Saturday morning. Who rings at 10:30 on Saturday morning? Well, I did ask them. I said, "Excuse me, are you Jehovah's Witnesses?" Two nice, demure-looking women. Yes. Come inside for a cup of tea. There's nothing decent on TV on a Saturday morning. You have no idea how freaked out they looked by this, because I think it's the equivalent of maybe me, you know, sort of like having seen this beautiful woman here, and you know, maybe afterwards, after, you know, the gig, sort of approaching her, tentatively getting a bit nervous about asking for a number. Just as I approach, she goes, "Do you want to come home and fuck my brains out?" Because you just jumped straight to that stage, and they were nervous for that reason, and also because I was just wearing a pair of trousers, you know, tweed trousers held up by braces. I looked like a sort of scrawny Chippendale gamekeeper. And to begin with, it was the delicious awkwardness, which I just savoured. As this went, oh God, I kind of got to go in, shut the door, click, double lock it. That wasn't kind. Putting the chain on was good. And so then we went downstairs, which was good as well, because we're just walking downstairs. So we're going, "Oh, the pit of hell." And what was brilliant, to really show their nervousness, the middle-aged South African one mentioned that they were married and their husbands with them out 4 times in the first 5 minutes. You know, because there I was thinking, oh, thank you for signposting that, because after watching all that popular Jehovah's Witness porn, I thought my luck was in. Jehovah's Fitness 5. "Excuse me, sir. My twin sister is bleeding. She can't have a blood transfusion. I think any bodily fluid will do." "She's bleeding from her ass. What can we do?" Yeah.
God.
So I made them tea. But also great that this woman thinks that there's someone who on a Saturday, you know, is such a player that he goes, "Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, if you want to test your A game." I love that guy. Great. Was he like going on, like shagging tours of Mecca at Hajj? Come on. And so anyway, then they asked me, you know, what they had to get to the stage, like, you know, asked me what I believe, and the thing is that I told them that I'd, you know, I stopped believing in God when my mother died on my 11th birthday, and whilst the idea is of like having a permanent guardian angel watching over you is comforting to some, it was terrifying to me, because I was masturbating like 5 times a day. Okay, that's the first time I've told the joke on stage. I told it to Jehovah's Witnesses! It was so much fun, and then I got so used to thinking I was going to get a laugh for it. I told it, and I was just like, oh, tough crowd. So I went for the, like, you know, lapsed Christian thing, because I thought, I was tempted being, because, you know, I wanted them to not leave before tea, and I wanted to slightly go maybe for the Aetherius Society. I don't know if you've heard about this. Is anyone here from Fulham?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's a lovely boutique cult. It's on the Fulham High Street. They are freaking crazy. Honestly. It was started